You've written another article kind of breaking down some of the Browns' top 30 visits that we know about. Let's take a look at a couple of position groups. So defensive tackle, that's an area they certainly could take early and could add to late as well. So we know that Garvon Dexter from Florida, Carl Brooks, and Siaka Ika from Baylor have visited with the Browns. Take us through kind of what went into that and your thoughts with those three.
Well, if I were to put him in the buckets, I'm looking at Dexter as the upside guy. 6'6", 315, ran a 4.8, 840. I mean, just an explosive athlete. And I think he's the upside guy of the three. Ika scares me. I mean, he's a massive human. I mean, he's 335 pounds. If you're looking for a pure space eater, he can do that. But his tape, especially this last year, it just wasn't there. And then the testing that he went through, I mean, his stock has plummeted. He was looked at as someone who was like an end of the first round, beginning of the second round guy. I mean, he's going to fall, but that size will keep him up on someone's draft board. But if I'm looking at value out of those three, I'm going Carl Brooks all day. Carl Brooks, like, I know there might be some apprehension because he played in the MAC, so he played lesser competition, but he did exactly what he was supposed to, that lesser competition. He dominated it, you know, and just watch the work he put into Senior Bowl. Like, to me, I was beside myself. He didn't get an invite to the combine. And for a lot of teams, you know, that's out of sight, out of mind. You know, that was an opportunity, and maybe he fell down on some draft boards just because he wasn't there to compete. But when I look at those guys as prospects, I would take my chances with Carl Brooks.
The other thing I'd say is Khalil Mack, Ben Roethlisberger. There's 5 or 6 guys every year from the Mid-American Conference that end up playing pretty well in the NFL. Defensive backs was another one that you did. Jamie Robinson from Florida State, a safety, Trey Hawkins from Old Dominion, and Kei'Trel Clark from Louisville. Take us through those, similar to what we did with the D tackles.
Gotcha. Well, they obviously need help with the nickel. Like, that's something they're going to try to address. I think in the draft's the easiest way to do that because you can take a guy a little later. You see, that's where they usually go, nickelbacks. Kei'Trel Clark is that standard guy. Like, he is a slot corner. That's what he's going to be at the next level. And they had a virtual meeting with him, but he's only had virtual meetings with everyone. So I don't know if there's a travel restriction he's going through or something where he can't visit in person. But I think he's that guy. But I think the interesting thing is Jamie Robinson. You look at just his skill set, you know, the ability to play safety, even dime backer, and in the slot. And the Browns have holes, their depth in safety and in the nickel. So I think of getting a player like Jamie Robinson would be huge. I think that would fill a couple of needs, as well as someone that can contribute on special teams. But I think Hawkins is the wild card in all this because, I mean, I don't know about you, but I didn't watch a ton of Old Dominion football when I was going through it. Like, he's 6'1", 195, feisty. He looks to dislodge the ball and run support. Real feisty at the catch point, you know, very Martin Emerson-esque in that regard, but he has some quick feet. I think he could be a dark horse. And the Browns aren't alone. Like, he went on 5 other visits, so he's gained the interest of some NFL teams. It's going to be interesting to see where he falls.